Kevin, Scotty Gomez. Want to take this time and wish you luck and the captains of the 239 Hockey Xbox League. I guess that's what you guys are in. So I think these are some of the names. GL to Devs, Odd, Cabs, Dangles, Knife, Pale, Tommy, Ziggy, D-Mart, Shoddy, Cougs, Gala, plus the players on the draft. And SZN. No fucking clue what I just said. I imagine you guys are playing video games. So hopefully you guys get out a couple times, get some exercise, a little fresh air, not just sit in front of the Xbox. But like I said, the Hockey League 239. We need a big year from all you guys. Let's not what's the word for it? I don't know if that's even right because I don't know if there's anyway. But let's have a good year. Give it your all. Give it your best. When you think of Xbox, think of life. Think of love. Think of there's no tomorrow, no retreat, no surrender at the Xbox League 239. So all the best, boys and girls. If you're playing, it's a new season. Dreams do come true. And like I said, make sure you get outside a couple times. Just don't stay and play video games all the time. All right, guys. All the best. Bye.
Happy opening week to the 239 Hockey League. So, by request, shout out to Johnny Bales. Now, I do know how to pronounce Bales because Mike Bales was a goaltender for, I do believe, for both Ottawa as well as Boston back in the day. I remember the names much better from 20, 30 years ago than now. Stick taps to the admins. Good luck to all the captains who are apparently Cougar, D-Mart, D-Vets, Gala, Caberlet, Knife, Shoddy, Odd, Tommy, Dangles, and Ziggy. So all the best to you guys. Hope that everything goes well for you. And yeah, online hockey leagues. It's a good idea. I think everything went online during 2020, didn't it? Thankfully, I was way ahead of the game. The whole YouTube thing helped me out because I'm already online. I didn't need to change anything. I just needed to stay socially distanced from myself. It's a complicated process. It's also kind of a painful process. Anyways, all the best to you guys. Best of luck and take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, 239 Hockey, welcome to your post-draft analysis of Season 28. My name is Mr. Hollywood. I'll be your host here tonight. And what a draft it was. What a turnabout. I mean, as far as the draft, a lot of surprises, a lot of unexpected turns on that. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to go over the rosters, who went where, how much did they pay for these guys, plus also some trades already happening on draft night. We'll have all of that. Who were the overpriced guys? Who were the absolute steals? And I'll have my power rankings on who I feel are the top 6 here heading into Season 28. I apologize for coming on here a bit late on here. You know, had a birthday party. A lot of great weather today on here. And yours truly, Mr. Hollywood, was passed out on here. And I can't believe nobody knows the wording that I used in the chat. Passed out like a jelly bean. I don't know. Maybe you guys got to get out more or maybe it's a jersey thing. Who knows, man? Maybe Yambak could comment on that. But here we go. So I was also supposed to be here with Johnny Bales on this. I was doing last minute stuff here, getting these images done here for you guys and stuff. So I'm not going to be doing that, but I am in the Talk It Up of the Discord. So anybody wants to hop in there to chime in, feel free to do so, or you want to place a comment on there. I'm also be monitoring the chat here on Twitch as we go live here. So let's get started. Let's get things started. We're going to first hop into the rosters. I'm going to go through all 9 teams on here for season 28. We'll have how much they went, whether they're full-time guys, whether they're part-time players on here. Now, this is not in any particular order on here on the rosters. I just grabbed each guys and I placed them on here. So later on, I'll have the power rankings. I will place my comments here on how I feel, how this draft went. So let's get started. Here's your season 28 rosters. Radley, welcome to the program. And you know what? I believe that's the first team we're going to discuss. Yamam's Hammer on here was one of his picks. And listen, let's bring up the roster here. So I'm talking about, actually it's Big C's team. I apologize. We'll get to that team shortly. So first thing, start off here, Cocaine Care Bears, led there by Big C, your reigning, defending champion of season 27. How well did he do here? So let's take a look about his roster. Now, he did have some pickups also from the waiver pool, from the undrafted on here. So I added all of that in here. Plus, if there was any moves or trades, yes, there was trades already on here. I did put the updated roster. So some guys you may see here, he actually may have not actually drafted in the draft, but they are part of the team, part of the roster here. So for Big C, I mean, he went all out big here for Shem, and no surprise here, you know, full time. I mentioned it here, you know, the centers to go, and I also mentioned, you know, as far as if I was going to predict who's going to win this season, if you're going to draft one of those centers, you're in a very good spot to do so. So Shem at 43. Then he took Mosh here for 29 as a part-time. And you're going to see a lot of part-time guys here. Very, you know, you talk about overpriced. You're going to see a lot of them here in this draft. It was one of those type of drafts here. You know what I mean? It was, you know, the part-time players. I never seen anything like that. I mean, it was probably the biggest part-time draft pool, and as far as also talent wise, so that's why I'm not kind of surprised the way the price they went. But man, we'll see if it pays off. I mean, last season Big C took a team on here where he didn't have to play a lot of game 6 or game 7s in the playoffs, and you know, about making it to the playoffs, I don't think it's that tight. I mean, what, we got 9 teams, do 8 teams make it on here like last season? If so, you know, having that half team, you know, playing the 4 games, capable of doing so. So Mosh 29. Then you got Imura. I thought this was a great pickup for only 3. He's a lot better than that. What about Gala going for 24 here? I know a lot of guys were surprised on the amount here, just because of the amount that Gala has gone in the previous drafts. Now, not taking any talent, anything away from the guy here. But, you know, 24. And also, I think just where he was picked up in the draft, it wasn't early on here where a lot of the big bids were coming in. So I was kind of surprised here he went at 24. Then he's got Brincat here, part-time player, all here for the dollar menu. Goat, that's solid there. It's a goaltender. Full-time goaltender for 1. Cobb being picked up, you know, he was one of those undrafted guys, and that too all part-time over there. So that's the roster there for Big C. He's got a lot of guys here, man. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, he's got a bunch of part-time players here, but that's a big roster right here. was it 9 guys? Yeah. So I barely fit it on the screen, but yeah. So there's the Cocaine Bears. Let's move along here. We got ISIS, led there by Tomahawk, another veteran captain coming on here. Now, I know he got criticized a lot, and it wasn't about his draft, but more of the moves that he made on draft night. So Tomahawk getting rent-free, full-time 28. I thought that was pretty decent. Mr. Anderson, 21 as part-time. Yeah, a much better price tag than he's usually gets on here. Venisimov with 6. I think that's an absolute steal. Getting Venisimov at that price tag. Rob as well, 11 for part-time. Now, Barrett was one of the guys who was involved in that trade, who went 21 initially. Bills Mafia, rookie here, full-time player. He will be starting for Tomahawk. He went for 7 bods. And then we got A-Train. I don't know much about the man. Part-time player. He went for 6. And then, do I have this right? No, I'm sorry. And that's it. A-Train was his last pick. That went for 6. I apologize. That was the other C9 I had here. So this rounds up Tomahawk's roster here. I thought he had a bunch of steals, especially with the guys that he initially drafted as well. I think both of those guys were absolute steals. But he mentioned about, his roster as far as the lineups on here. You didn't feel comfortable what he had as far as rotation-wise or placement on there, so he started making the moves. We'll get into that here later on. But this rounds up the ISIS squad for season 28. Moving along here, we got It Wasn't Me, led by Scary Terry, the captain. He got Drug Monkey right off the back for 14. I know Drug's been a guy that's gone for a lot more, but I mentioned about the goalies here in this draft pool, so wasn't surprised with that. 14 for Drug. Booty Clappin for 13. That's very good there as a full-time player as well. Trey going for 16. Buck for 9. And he's a rookie here, Joe Shiny, off the dollar menu. And surprisingly, the most he paid for was for Scheif on here, which is the only part-time guy he has here for 17. And I think that's why a lot of guys questioned here this guy's draft, because he was left with a lot of bots at the end of this thing. As you could see here, he really didn't go big on anybody on this. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing on here? Where your part-time guy, which may be not even starting on here, is your highest bid. Could he have drafted better? Could he have gotten somebody? Now, his defense on here is that he got who he wanted to. Now, you also got to look on here. He's one of the captains that went for the full-time players. A lot of these higher-priced guys were from the part-time pool on here, so he went all out full-time guys here, so maybe so. We'll see if Scary Terry knows what he's talking about on here, or it's going to be a fail and burn out here for It Wasn't Me. Moving along, we got Jimmy's Pizza, Lemonsky, his first time captain on here. Going with good for 24 bots part-time. Freak at 47 full-time. And Legion, 29 part-time. And that actually was it for his draft. I think he sets the record here for 239 Hockey as far as being the first guy done in a draft, as far as the amount of time used and the amount of picks used, which was 3. And then all these guys were picked up after off that waiver pool of the undrafted. Choco Brown. I heard some good things about this guy, and especially this Tree Love guy, which are both, off the dollar. Killer Shots, part-time player for 1. And then both Spite Gamer and Turbo, which I believe his goaltenders here, for the 1 bod. But what about this? I mean, Lemansky taking a risk here, taking a gamble, using up all the bots there on 1 full-time guy and 2 part-time players. Is it going to pay off here for Jimmy's Pizza? I'll let you guys know here in a bit. Moving on, we got Odd Guy coming back to captaincy on here. Taking, which I feel was the best goaltender off the pool for full-time player Delhi, his first time here in 239. He went for 22 bods. Rocky Dangles, full-time here, winger, 15 bods. Pale Poner for only 10. I thought that was a good grab there for him. But remember, he's only got defense and goaltending on there, which is possibly why his bod value went so low. Esoteric back in the league here for 20 bods full time. Yambag being snatched for just $1 here, full time member. And then Float coming back here as well. A lot of guys coming back here on this team. A lot of old veterans. Float for 29 bods. And what I feel odds biggest steal here, Dirty Randy for only a 1 bod here, part-time player, first time here in 239 hockey, and that squares up Odds Guys team for Married with Children here for this season. Going on here, we got No Pucks Given by now this is the only team that's co-captained here with Hall of Fame and Turtle, the co-captain guys. You got Jimmy going for only 12 bods full-time. Roaming Ronin for 33. Part-time player, the highest part-time as far as bod value. Ozzy coming back here this season, full-time again. 35, the highest here on this team. Chazzy D for 7 bods. Going with the goaltender J Squad for 2. And rookie here, Reap, which also I heard some good reviews on, only for 1 bod. And this squares off here, Hall of Fame squad. I mean, he's got a lot of guys coming back here from that previous team last season. Although Ronin's only part-time here. No Seji, but he does got Ozzy and Jimmy on here. So we'll see what happens here. Then we got Wizzy War. Now this is after the trades. So Wizzy War here did pick up in that trade Chum Lee, who was initially drafted for only 13. I thought that was a huge steal. D-Mark going for 30 part-time. That was his initial first pick of the draft. D-Vets was the other member involved in that trade for only 8 bods. Another steal. Then you got C-Dub for 15. That's a great value as well. Highlight for 8. I'm surprised this guy's going this low on here. I really think a highlight should be a much greater value than that. Adam Haywire going for 3, full-time defenseman, and going with the rookie goaltender Grazer for 1 bod, which wraps up Wizzy War squad. Then we have Master Shotgun. I did not like this guy's draft, but I'll get to that here in a bit. Sauce, tremendous pick there, 40 bods. But everything here below, I mean, you got Try part-time for 12. Rookie Call Me Skull for 17 bods. Surprised me, only $1. I mean, you can't go wrong there. But the question is where he's placing him here on this squad. You got Young Kelch for 26 bods. I know a lot of guys were surprised on the value of that. And then Ace Soul for the 1 bod here for Will Clappertons of the Master Shotgun squad here. And then lastly, we have Win or Retire. Ratterley here. Going huge for Yamam's Hammer, 44 bods. And Dom Silva at 32. And then below that, Sniper being picked up as usual for the 1 bod placement. Pence Fan for 13. Guideman, 1 bod. And rookie goaltender here, Jesus Hacks You for 1 bod. So that basically It's going to wind up the rosters on there, your part-time, your full-time guys here for season number 28. I've got my list here who I feel was overpriced and who were the steals of this draft. Now, as far as overpriced, I think you could put in here almost so many. I mean, it was so hard because you could put in pretty much a good majority of the part-time players drafted on here because they went for a lot of bots on here. And but I kind of changed it up on there. I threw in 2 other full-time guys here. So let's take a look here. The overpriced as well as the steals for season 28. Your overpriced guys here. No question. Number 1, Dom Silva at 32 bots, part-time player. I couldn't believe this on here when the bots kept going up and up on here. I mean, I love me some Dom Silva as well, but 32 bots. Is Dom Silva even the best defenseman in this league? You got to ask yourself. And as a part-time guy for 32 bots, overpriced, no question. And I did mention, part-time guys will be on this list. And right below him there, Ronan, which was the highest here at 33. But I got him a little bit lower than Dom Silva because he at least could play some multiple positions here for this season. But 33, I mean, if you look at the full-time, I mean, what would that be on his full-time? Like 60? So that is rather high there, man, for 33. Gala at 24. And the reason I put Gala on here, I think I could have put possibly Mr. Anderson or somebody on here. But I put Gala here just because of when he was drafted. Like I said, a majority of the higher bids already went early on. And when Gala was picked up on there, was towards the middle or end of the draft there, where a lot of guys already had used majority. And for him to go still at 24, I think that's pretty high. I got Freak here. Listen, I love Freak. I do. But at 47, I mean, that's like half of your bonds right there. You start with 147 on one guy. I don't care how good you are, man. I mean, at 47, nobody should be going that high here at all. So that's why I got him. I'm not taking any skill away from the guy here, but 47 is rather too high. And Young Couch at 26, being here as well. I got to place him here with all the other part-time guys as well. 26 bots. I mean, for 26, I mean, Young Couch's got to carry that defensive line. Can he do that? Can he be the man, the number 1 D on that team? We'll see. I mean, he's being paid a lot here. 26 spots. He's expected to do so. Will he or not? So there's the overpriced on here. Shout out to Funoff there in the chat, man. What's up, buddy? Long time no see. So there's my top 5 list here, man. Overpriced. And like I said, I possibly could have thrown like a lot of these part-time guys here that were drafted because it was one of those drafts. It was one of those drafts on here just because, like I said, the amount of part-time guys with the amount of, talent in that part-time pool. And then as far as the biggest steals, I mean, no question, guys, here. D Mort Gaming, number 1. I mean, this is just absurd. I mean, for him to go 30 bots, this guy generally goes at least 40 in a draft pool here. For him to only go 30, I don't know what the captains were thinking. I think Wizzy War got an absolute steal here with D Mart for only 30 bots, man. I mean, you look at how much the other guys went for here, man. I mean, D Mart, I don't even think is in the top 10 of the most that was paid here. I mean, I could name like 10 guys right off the top of my head that went more than D Mart, which should never happen in any draft. It did here, season 28, and that's why I think Wizzy War got an absolute steal. Number 2 is good. Listen, for good to go 24, I just mentioned about Kelch going 26. I mean, this guy went for 24 bots. You saw what he did last season. And here's a guy that signed up for goaltender last season, just goaltender. You know what I mean? He opened up the forward spot. He opened up the defensive spot on here as well. And for him to go 24, where you got guys like Dom Silva going for 30 plus, it's crazy. It's crazy. So he gets my number 2 spot there. And then Jimmy. Jimmy was my number 1 full-time defenseman here in this draft pool. I don't care what anybody says. For him to go 12, I don't know if people just don't like this guy. I don't know, people just because of from the bunkers where he's playing from. But for him to go 12, Hall of Fame, got a great pick over there here in this draft, picking up Jimmy. And then my last 2 here, initially Tommy was the guy who drafted these guys. But now they're on that Wizzy squad. So you got D Vets, who only went for 8. And this is a solid shutdown defenseman on here. 8 bonds. Oh man, I mean, how can that happen? It did. He fell through, and not only that, Wizzy War is able to get him. He got a 2-for-1 deal here. So what did he get him for? Maybe 4 bonds. And then Chumlee here for 13. Him as well. I mean, this is a winger that puts up points, puts up tremendous numbers. 13 bonds, where you got a guy like Mr. Anderson going for a lot more than that. I mean, Mr. Anderson went, what did he go for? 21, you know? So, Chumlee only 13. Big steal here. And once again, a part of that Wizzy squad there. So there's my big steals for season 28 on here. The most overpriced. Let me know what you guys think on here. Like I said, that's all from this past draft. Season kicks off tomorrow night, opening night, which will be streamed by Johnny Bales on all the games as he does every season for you guys. That's on twitch.tv, Johnny Bales. And now we're going to get to, a lot of guys are looking for the rankings. Now, I want to give a shout out to Yambag. Yambag did post his power rankings on there. It's a great read there. If you guys didn't check it out, it's in the write-up section of the Discord. 239, or right on the, you could go to the website, 239hockey.net, to read all about it. But here's my power rankings. So I broke it down to the top 6, man. Top 6 on here. I'm going to mention first the teams that I did not put on here. Now, this is in no particular order. Scary Terry did not crack the top 10, top 6 here for me. And the reason being, I mean, I'm looking on here, finishing off with 40 bonds. Is that right? I mean, looking at the roster here, he's got 40 bonds. It's not something that you could transfer over to the next season. So he's holding on to 40 bonds on there. Could this draft have been better? I think so. I think he could have came up with at least a big solid dude, man. I mean, for 40 bonds, I mean, you could get pretty much almost anybody on there. He chose to not do so here. Now, in his defense, like I said, he got all full-time guys. But I'm looking at the other teams here. I don't see Scary Terry's team competing here with the other 6. I got him below that. Now, he has proven us wrong on occasions, especially with that taxi squad. But I don't see that happening here, unfortunately, here. I mean, Drug Monkey's going to have to perform here a lot. I mean, you got Trey, you got Buck back there in defense. You got a new guy here in Joe Shiny. How good is he? Is he capable of playing that full-time slot there with Booty clapping? I don't know. I just don't see it here. I'm sorry. Scary Terry, man, does not crack the top 6 here for me. Another team that doesn't, and no question here, man. Master Shotgun, I think, put on the worst draft here. If I was going to put a team on the bottom here. I love Sauce. He paid 40 for Sauce, which was great. But then you look at it here. Where's he placing these guys? You got Surprise Me, technically a right winger. Now he's on the left spot. I think that changes a lot there. Since Sauce has to play right, he only could play right here on this team because of his sign up. Then you're mixing in Young Couch with Aso on defense there. I don't know. You got a rookie goaltender. Now, I've saw some good things about Skull, so I'll give him that. And then I don't know if he's putting Tribe, if he's taking Soul out for a couple of games, switching there, or he's bringing Tribe to play that forward spot. But I don't see that. I just see him playing second D because he's not going to switch him for Sauce. So he's only going to be D there. So it's going to be pretty much, it looks like Young Couch and Ace Soul, and then possibly Young Couch and Tribe mixing it in there. I just don't see it here, man. I don't see it here for Master Shotgun Squad. I don't see him putting points here. I think, Sauce, yes, he's a great player, but does he have the parts to do it here with the other guys here? I don't think he does. I don't think it's going to be a good season here for Sauce, unfortunately, although he's been very consistent in his run here in 2-3-9. I think this is one of those seasons that really puts him down, man. So that's 2. And the third team here, man, I got Odd Guy Squad, man. I don't think Odd Guy Squad cracks the top 6. I mean, I like the guys he drafted here. I mean, a lot of veterans. The thing is, man, how old are these guys, man? I mean, you got Esoteric. When was the last time we saw this guy? And he's your center, man. That's a huge part. And then you got the Albatross. You got Yambag there. I know you only got him for $1 on there, but you have him there. I mean, if there's going to be a season that's going to change things, maybe Iso is the guy to do so. We'll see. Then you got Rocky up there up front with Float hanging in there as part-time on the other side of the wing. I do like this Randy pick, though. I think the Randy possibly could maybe change things about to get this team up to that top 6. It could very well happen. If I was to run this squad on here, I keep Rocky at the right wing spot. You got Esso at the center spot. And then you got Float. I think you switch Float with Randy on the 2 separate nights. And then I think you bring in Pale Poner with Yambag. I think you split those two. If you have Odd Guy with Pale and Odd Guy with Yam on the other night, I think that works out much better than the lineup that was posted on the website. I think you do that. I don't think you mess around where you put Yam on defense and you put Yam then on forward the other night. I don't think that's going to work. I think that's going to be a disaster on here. I think you got to keep Randy with Float on that left wing. Just switch those guys up. Keep Iso. Keep Rocky at the right wing. And maybe that will work out because then that means, Pale and Yam could split on there. And if Iso's got it on here, he won a belt here before. He's had some tremendous seasons here in 2-3-9. Can he do it again? Although the last time we saw Iso with Yambag on the same team, it did not work out at all. So we'll see. Is that going to happen here, man? Is that going to be part of that? We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Shout out to Coach there in the chat. What's up, Coachy, brother? Big C. Did my team get ripped yet? Nah, Big C, I did not rip your team yet. I'm just going through the 3 that I don't feel. That means your team is one of the top 6 here. And you know what? Let's go on to that. Let's bring that up here. My power rankings. So those are the 3 that I have that did not crack the top 6. These are the top 6. Let's start things off with the number 6 spot. I got Tomahawk here at the 6th spot here, my power rankings. Now, I did not like his move at all. That trade on here, he's saying he needed the trade. But he definitely benefited Wizzy War because the 2 guys that he drafted were absolute steals here. But this ISIS team, I like Vinisimov. I like the price tag he got. I like a lot of the players here. He got the price tag. But can Bills Mafia be the man? I mean, this is a rookie season here. If he turns out to be the man here, then maybe so. But I see a lot of rotations here, man. I see a lot of movements here, which is something that Tommy was going over as the draft was going, because he was drafting all these guys at a great price tag, but then he's like, wait a second, where am I putting them? So when you're questioning that on there, it questions me as well, because you've got a whole bunch of part-time guys here. I don't know. I just don't know. But I still have him here in the top 6. I think he's got talent there, for one of the nights that they split. Because you got Barrett, you got Rob, you got Mr. Anderson. Depending on how he splits that up here. But I do like the number 6 spot here for ISIS. Let's move along here. Number 5. I got Ratterley, win or retire. Maybe retire, but right now I got him at top 5. Listen, this guy always puts a great squad. He's always in that playoff run. Just comes out a bit short. Unfortunately, I think he's going to come out short again here. But nonetheless, he does have a talented squad here. I do like his picks. I mean, he mainly drafted what? Hammer and Dom Silva. I mean, that was pretty much his draft right there. Because the rest, Sniper, Gyneman, Jesus, all those were one-bot pickups over there. I mean, can those 3, Dom Silva, Hammer, and Ratterley, yes, I think they could win games on here. But can they win it all? Unfortunately, no, I don't think. Hammer going at 44. I wish they kept bidding it, because I wanted to see how high Ratterley was actually gonna go. He did stop at 44 because that's where you want. So another season here where he does get his guy here. He has Dom Silva, but remember, it's part-time. So you take Dom Silva off this on the second night. Looks a bit shaky. You got Sniper, Pence fan there going full-time. Gyneman, I don't know. And then this Jesus guy, I haven't seen much. Rookie, goaltender. But I still have him cracking that top 5 here for Ratterley, because he always does. You could look at the team roster on paper. A lot of times you look at it and you're like, I don't know, but there he is. He makes that playoff push. So he's the top 5. Number 4, that's Cocaine Care Bears. I do like the Care Bears on here, and I'm placing them here at the number 4 spot. I think this was a solid draft here put together, and here's the thing with Big C, man. I mean, when you got Shem, you got Big C, you got Mosh on there, right? You got those 3 guys right there. Gala, Immortal. Yes, I do question his second line might be a bit shaky, but Big C has proven, last season, you don't even need a second line on there if you're that damn good. And when you got a line that has both Shem and Mosh on there, good luck whoever has to play with that line, because those dudes, he did pay a lot for them, but still, man, I mean, could he have drafted better? I mean, 24 on Gala was a lot. I mean, that left him pretty much then, to that dollar menu after that, maybe. But then again, I mean, he went out big on that first line, and I think that's a very dangerous line. Big C, Shem, Mosh will do a lot of damage here, and I got him at the top 4. Let's move on. Number 3, Hall of Fame here, 0 pucks. Now, reason why I got him here, number 3, not higher. I don't like the whole co-captain stuff, man. I really don't. I don't like it. It hasn't really been a success here to much teams. But number 3 here, I think it's a good spot for Hall of Fame. You know, with Turtle, both those guys are very solid. He didn't go the part-time route, but like I said, since you got co-captains, it kind of fixes. I mean, I've been part of teams like that where it seems like 2 separate teams because you got like 2 different owners almost. You know what I mean, for each night. You know, he's got Ozzy back. He's got Jimmy back on this squad that he had last season with Hall of Fame. Ronan's only part-time, but I've heard real good things about this Reap guy. And if it is, you know, that's a big part there at that center spot because that leaves, you know, Ronan and Ozzy on the one night. And then he's going to move, I guess he's moving Turtle the other night to play forward. And that means Chaz and Jimmy will be the other night. I like this squad, man. I like the a lot of talent here on this team. And if Ozzy has another standout season as he did last season, I think this team goes far. The thing is, will he? Or was it that Seji carried that team last season? I don't know. I still like this team. I still like the defensive pair back there. They got J Squad, you know, in between the pipes there. So I thought it was a very good draft here done by Hall of Fame. Even though, like I said, I do not like the co-captaincy part. I think that's the only thing that kind of brings this team down for me. Because we haven't seen much success with that, if any. And then moving along here, number 2, you got Jimmy's Pizza Lemansky, rookie captain on here. Now, I know technically the guy only drafted 3 guys here and picked up the rest. But look who he got, man. I mean, you got Lemansky, you got Freak, you got Chemistry right there, those 2. Then you on top of that, you're adding Good with Legion, you know, splitting things up there with part-time. And Choco Brown, like I said, I haven't heard anything negative about the guy. And if he stands out to what he is, man, this is a very solid team here. With Tree Love, another great dude, man. Left defenseman there. So you match him up there with either Good or Legion back there on defense. That's going to be a tough wall to get past, man, for a lot of these teams. I think they're very solid on the defensive end here. And then if Freak continues to tear things up as he has been, so I mean, listen, the man went for 47 bots for a reason. Lemansky has had some solid seasons as well, and I see this team just lighting things up, man. You know, light it up on here. They got the defensive core to do so, and we've seen last season where Good, like I said, you really don't need that second line sometimes, man, if you're that damn good. And with the number of teams making the postseason, here's the thing, man. I mean, a lot of guys criticized my ranking last season where I put Big C up there. Now, they finished the season, what was it, in the 8th ranked spot. So, yeah, so you could look at that. But they won the championship. So, I had them in the top 3 on there. So, if you go by the end of the season, yeah, maybe so. But So that's the thing you got to factor in here as well. I think Lemansky's team, though, I think this is the real deal. But my number 1 team on here, the one I think that's going to take it all here this season, that's Wizzy War. Thirst Trap gets the number 1 spot here. Now, when this draft started on here, you know, he drafted DeMar. He got him at a steal there for 30 bots, man. But then he gets another steal because of the trade. He gets Chumley for 13. He got Stevets for 8. C-Dop for only 15. I mean, that's crazy, man. You got Highlight for 8. This team is stacked, man. Wizzy War, the true master. I don't know what he did. I mean, generally in the draft, you don't even pay attention to the other captains, to the other owners out there. You're worried about your draft. This man was able to pull up one of the biggest heists in 239 history. And what he pulled off was just crazy. 2-for-1 deal, and it's going to benefit him. I mean, look at this line that you're going to have to face on here. You know, you got Wizzy War on that forward spot. Then you got Chum Lee, right, at the left wing spot, switching in possibly with C-Dub, you know. Then you got Highlight over there at the right wing spot. And then the defense core, you got D-Mart and D-Vet splitting each night along with Adam. I mean, I don't see any holes here. I mean, if any, I mean, where is the issue that I could point out that I could say anything negative about this team? I can't, man. Number one, Thirst Trap and Wizzy War. I think this is the season. This season, they're going to go through all the way there with D-Mart and the boys. They're going to get it done. If anything, Jimmy's Pizza may give them a little bit trouble here or there. But that's my top 6 on here for season 28 power rankings. Top 6 who I feel will propel on here this season. Remember, it is one of those where all these part-time players were drafted on there. But in a season where majority of these teams make the postseason, does it even matter? Wizzy War. And the thing about Wizzy, man, when this draft started on there, he was waiting. I think he had D-Mart like late in this draft where he didn't even draft anybody. And then he picked it up as the draft went on. And then once he pulled that trade through, I mean, that was lights out for everybody else. I don't care what anybody says here. Listen, who benefited where? Wizzy War straight out won that trade on there for the first trade of the season, and possibly maybe the trade of all trades here. Wizzy War getting things done. Like I said, I see no holes. So there's the rankings, man. I want to thank everybody that tuned in on here for the broadcast here. Remember, tomorrow night, opening night, we're going to see these teams. How will they face off? The schedule has been posted. It's on there. Johnny Bell is going to bring you guys the live coverage of every game, every moment tomorrow night, opening night. Good luck to all the teams here for season 28. It's been real here. Mr. Hollywood here, like I said, and I'm going to be back next week. Possibly, I don't know, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. Maybe I'll keep it Sunday. We'll see what majority wants or would like to see. Where I'll recap the week. I'll recap, the standings. I'll possibly do a updated power rankings there for you guys. Plus, I'm going to be bringing back the team of the week, the top line there for each week. And I've got, a lot of guys like these rankings that I've been doing. I did it for the before the draft. I did it here tonight for your overprice and your steals. Well, I'm going to possibly do a top 5 position-wise. Your top 5 centers, top 5 wingers, defensemen, and goaltenders. And I'll base it on the season as it goes by here. I'll rank them based on the top 5 and do almost like how you do with the power rankings. Move them up or down based on your performance here this season. If there's anything else you guys want to see, let me know. Leave a comment. Send me a DM. Good luck to everybody tomorrow night. Kick things off. 239 Hockey. Mr. Hollywood signing out, fellas. Have a good night, everybody.